over at Stargate and the MBS crew that also represents Mr. Muggs versus Deltaforce, one of, if not the greatest Link players in the entire world, who's seeded number 6 at this tournament, a very frequent member of the New Jersey Power Rankings. I don't think he missed a single one in, like, the last, swear to God, I think, like, year? Something more than that, if I'm not mistaken. I wish. I have to remember the recent PR. Going up against the Dark Link right here. Let's get it. This is going to be a fun matchup, to say the least.
I think that Nair is going to be a great move for both characters, but especially for Link. Link's Nair is just such a busted move. It's so good landing, like you see there. Really good at getting confirms. It's also really good at contesting a lot of hitboxes. And with Wario landing on you a lot with a lot of aerials, he's just really good air mobility. We're going to be seeing a lot of Link Nair.
Yeah, it just beats, like, every damn move in this game.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Yeah.
Like, I think the reason might have been like some errors back in Melee where they made it stay out too long or something, but for whatever reason, it's got that crazy priority, and you know Deltaforce is going to be taking solid advantage of that at the end of the day here, trying to fish for that forward air, which has crazy high range as well. Wario, however, you know, I'm gonna make one more Hannah Montana joke. Are you ready?
Yeah,
he actually has the best of both worlds, because despite moving through the air better than almost any character in this game, he has a trait that most characters who can move through the air like that don't have in how heavy he is. It's not common that you have a character who's got the best of both of that, unless you're playing like Yoshi or something, but Wario has that tendency as well. He's very, very hard to catch in the air because of how good his air mobility and his airspeed is, and then when you do catch him, he's low-key heavy as hell because of how fat he is. So he just, like, he gets the best of both worlds in that regard, as he's going to be going against Link.
That muscle weighs more than fat, so Wario is buff. He's not fat.
Yeah, but he skips leg day every week. He's all buys and tries.
Doesn't need it.
He's all buys and tries. What are you talking about? He literally doesn't have any legs to pump. I feel like if he did a squat, he wouldn't be that much closer to the ground than he already is.
Have crazy squat numbers because he only has to go like 2 inches.
Yo, I guess that's true.
Oh my gosh!
And that right there is probably why he never does squats, because whenever he does, that happens. My goodness, BeatyBean doing what he does best and getting the fart confirms. Beautiful waft. Drop through the platform again. Can I get a 5th clap, a 6th clap? 63% off of the bat already as he builds up the meter even more. Waits for the tech option off of the platform as the bike is there to cover his space again. Patented Wario play out here. Getting the weak hit again and still able to get a combo off of it because he got the weak hit instead of the strong one. If that was deliberate, then BeatyBean is one of the absolute best Warios in the game.
Right, using that Nair to fight against that hitbox of the bike, which could be a problem for other characters, but Link just able to stick his steel-toed boot out and deal with it. Okay, tries to call out the landing here by staying in shield, but it's not going to work out. Gonna get hit with fair off stage, and yeah, BeatyBean just kind of ran away with that one. I thought it was really interesting the way that Link's down air hitbox interacted with Wario's up air. It seemed like they both got hit, which doesn't make a ton of sense to me. I feel like Link's sword must be a lot longer than Wario's hands, but they do kind of expand when he up airs, so who's to say, really?
I'm not completely sure. We'll take a look at that interaction again when we eventually get the chance if it's in the replay. We'll take a look at this again. Oh, soaring through the space ride.
Yeah.
My goodness, even letting the hitbox extend of the bike a little bit had he even been on stage with the bomb being placed right there. I don't know if that increased BeatyBean's momentum with the bike at all right there. I'm pretty sure he just gets that momentum in the air anyway if he just tilts the bike down and does like sort of a reverse wheelie. If I'm not the Wario expert. I sincerely, he is, you know, I apologize in advance. But there you go, getting the wheelie to get that extra damage, a normal wheelie that time. As we advance to, I think, our first match that you and I have casted the entire night on Town and City, Emma.
You've been here yet?
Yeah, I don't think we have.
Great, but BeatyBean using the Nair and Fairs from Wario to get in, and it feels like it's really hard for Deltaforce to set up like a zone, and I think that might be why we went to Town and City. Just having like the larger stage might make it easier to throw out these boomerangs, to use a lot more of these projectiles that we haven't been able to see, but it just seems like BeatyBean's so good at catching out a lot of the landings from Deltaforce that it feels like he's not really able to be on the ground and set up the zone that he's looking for.
Indeed, probably not. If it's a much longer space stage as well as having the highest vertical blast zones, I believe, in any of the current legal stages in Smash Ultimate. So that alone is going to make it way harder for Link to kill off the top with stuff like up tilts, up airs, and whatnot. But off the sides, where Wario Waft usually kills, BeatyBean's gonna he's gonna not only have that survivability off the top, but he's gonna have raw kill power off the sides as well. So I don't even think it necessarily has to do with the blast zones. I don't think that's why Deltaforce picked this, because I think it kind of goes against him. I think it just more so has to go with the layout. The fact that the stage is Final Destination half the time, the fact that it occasionally has platforms for him to retreat to and do his bomb setups and whatnot, but at the same time, it's looking like with the damage output of BeatyBean, not even needing those platforms to get that damage, it's not working out too well for Deltaforce so far, as he's already fighting from behind, and that Waft is poised and on deck, Emma.
Yeah, tries to go for the scoop on the up being towards the blast zone, but it didn't work out for him. And yeah, BeatyBean's just doing such a great job of keeping up this pressure. Okay, gets the tech chase there with the fair, able to take BeatyBean's first stock, but gonna have to do some serious damage here in order to tie this up. Gets started with the back airs, tries to use the fair off the platform, doesn't work out for him though, but still in this advantage state. But BeatyBean just using that jump of Wario's to get back to center stage. Deltaforce keeping up this pressure though, dropping the bomb at the ledge. What are we gonna see? Able to just make it back towards center stage again. Yeah, it just feels like BeatyBean's able to use that ledge jump to just get around Deltaforce traps that he's setting up, and it just completely disengages from it and no longer has that pressure anymore.
Yeah, he's doing a good job at utilizing those platforms to pretty much just navigate around it at the end of the day. Still with this Waft on deck, though, I mean, you see the insurance tacking up. I would say the insurance tacking up on the part of Deltaforce right now, but instead, Deltaforce is kind of bringing it back on the other end, lingering with that up air hitbox once again. But that's such a scary thing to do against Wario, right? Like I mentioned, his airspeed is really, really good. So if you misspace that even a little bit, he's not only going to be able to get around you, he'll probably be able to get a punish off of it as well. As you see him going underneath the stage, feeling himself with that movement, I should say right now. Good stuff to BeatyBean. My God. There was no reason for him to even do that necessarily, besides the fact that he was feeling himself. And there's the fart already. Deltaforce going down very quickly. BeatyBean popping off with how quickly that set seemed to necessarily go. Wow. What a quick work done by BeatyBean right there to advance up to winners quarterfinals. Now he's going to have a shot against Jackal.
That was insane. I'm like still awestruck from the way that he used the bike off stage. I've literally never seen that.
Yeah, no, you just get increased momentum in with the bike the more you turn it in the air. You know, if you do that or if you pop the wheelie downwards, like you can pretty much just control the speed as if your control stick is basically the torque on the bike, basically, like he did right there. Like you see how he increased that speed to get that forward air. His mobility in the air is not only insane with the bike, but it's also even more insane with it. The more he turns in the air with it, the more it increases his speed. And that combined with the bike jump is just how he was able to do that. I'm not sure why. It was kind of unnecessary, to be completely honest. But like I said, I think BeatyBean was just feeling himself. And you could tell he was feeling himself with how hard he was popping off right there. You see he was smacking that table? Come on. I mean, his leg, that was a certified knee slapper right there.
So true.
Certified. Patented. Don't steal that.